All right, let me get up there and take a look. So instead of going up any further on this tree, we're just going to cut off the tree right here to the top. They're going to pull on it a bit, and we'll get it in through here. And all these cedars here. So they're dragging the line out right now. And I'll have them pull on it, and we'll just send it right through here. So we're going to aim it right in here in this clearing. We don't want to get it caught up in that fir tree right here. So make sure you're gunning where you want it to go. Look at that gunning sight here. Give it a tug. Okay, get out of there. So that saved us a decent amount of work. I didn't have to go all the way up there. We just pulled the top through here, but just be careful doing that you're paying attention to trees that could get it hung up. Like if this top would have went over here and got hung up into that one, it's about as tall as that tree. It could have shot off the tree right into my chest, and you don't want that, right? You want to look for a clearing that you can put it through. So that's why we put it through here. I'm gonna get down, chunk this down really quick, and then we'll go on to the rest of the trees. We've got about 8 or so trees to take care of on this property. Fur real quick. All the weight's out here because of the limbs. Just trying to make sure it's not going to hit my truck, but we're going to put it just right in next to this tree right here. This little guy. Look at your sawdust as you're cutting. That's nice clean sawdust, so we know there's no rot in this tree. At least right here there isn't. So just keep an eye on that while you're cutting for a lot of brown chips coming out, or no chips and just a lot of brown dust. So again, gun your tree, look down your sights. We're going to put it right to the left of this guy. Now look up as you cut. Try to keep this thing going. Just wanted to point out something real quick before I take these 4 down. Make sure you're looking up. See all the limbs that are tied up in there? You don't know whether this tree will come out of this mess or not. There might be some branches in this cedar that are tied back to this fir, so it's limb tied. It's literally growing into this tree. You just don't know. So we could cut this off, even though it might fit in here next to that shed, and then a limb grabs it in this fir tree and holds on to it. It can literally swing it back over here into this shed or into this shed here. So make sure you're either cutting them all together. If they're limb tied, they need to go together, or you need to climb up there and figure out what's going on before you start cutting. So we're going to climb this just to make sure there isn't anything tied up, and then we'll get this cluster down here. So I'm up here now, and you can see that there's nothing tied into this fir, but look at the mess we got going here with the cedar. Right, it's tied into this fir, or at least some of the limbs are coming around the back side of it. So if you cut this cedar from the ground, because it looked like it was good to go, and we could just drop it over, all those limbs are going to catch on the back side of this fir, and it's going to drag the tree off course. So it doesn't matter where you put your face in, the tree's going to just go in a way that you weren't predicting. Could be over here on the shed or something, because it spins the tree out. So just be careful of that. Like I said, if they're tied in together, they need to be cut together. Put the face and back cut in, both of them. But we're just going to top them real quick and take down this bigger fir here. This is a pretty tall tree. I'd say it's over 100 and, I don't know, might be 110 feet. Not very big in girth though, as far as going down. So we gotta get this tree too. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna top this tree out, and then we might swing over into this other fir and cut it down to save some energy. I still got a lot of trees to do. So we're ready to top this fir. As you can see, there's a nice new steel carport down there. Last thing I want to do is drop this top in there. So be real cautious of analyzing your lean. Go to the side of your tree, look up. Is there any back lean? Is there a lot of limbs on the back side that could pull the top backwards? That can be deceiving at times. You'll have a lot of limbs on one side and maybe just a smattering of them on the other side. You have to be super careful, because that's a lot of weight and you can pull the top backwards. So what we're going to do, I have wedges with me. I shouldn't need them. I'm just going to put the face and back cut in, but I'm going to leave a decent amount of hinge and watch what the top does and see if it's giving as I push. If it's not, I'll get my wedges out and stop cutting. Drop it right down to here on these branches. Right in this opening here. Make sure it's I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna feel for this top moving. If it starts to set back, I'm gonna stop. See, I'm not cutting anymore. I'm gonna stop, put my saw away, and I'm gonna try and force it over. See, it doesn't want to go. So we're going to stop. We're going to get out a wedge and put it in that back cut just to protect ourselves. This thing doesn't want to try and come backwards on us. I still got a decent amount of hinge, so I'm not worried about it coming back right now, but if I cut more, it could. Okay, I got that set. Hammer away. So I'm going to tap this in and we'll take a look and see what it's doing. If you bottom out, tap it to the side, keep hammering. Tap it to the side, hammer it back out. Goes the top. Look at the movement I'm getting in this tree. So if this tree was dead, You take a top that big, just that movement forward and then back, you could break the tree off underneath you. So again, remember, if you're taking bigger tops that are gonna really move the tree, especially these real skinny fir trees or whatever you're climbing, if they're real skinny all the way up, it really moves them when you take those tops. So just be cautious of that. Okay, we're gonna head down and we're gonna get this guy. We're going to do a back cut first on this tree. Just lean back this way. And we'll hammer a wedge in here. Get it tilted in this direction. Make a face cut and just reserve a decent amount of hinge wood so we know for sure it's going to go this way. Okay, we're going to try and shoot it. We're going to try and put it right on top of this cedar tree here, but we're going to cut this stuff a little bit lower. I don't want it trying to go into the side of the support. Back cut first. You're going to gun your tree with the back cut instead of that face cut. You got to do it on both, but your initial gunning you want to do with your snap cut. I want it right in here. We'll make sure that this thing's going to clear. It should. Let's make sure before we cut this thing up. Oh yeah, we're good. So we're getting in there. About halfway. What we'll do is we'll trim off the side. We're going to start putting wedges in the back of that. So it's already leaned back. So see if we can get it to lean forward without even putting the face in. Okay, just from putting that back cut in, those wedges, the tree is now leaned slightly forward. And I didn't even put a face cut in. So that's something you guys can do when you got something back lean and you're trying to be very cautious as you're cutting it. Is just do the back cut first. Right really slow on this. Make sure you go around and check. There's my corner. You don't want to be so quick to put that face in and then you know where we want to go. Pretty well cleaned up. Now we'll go ahead and start pounding this in. As soon as it starts to go, try and clear your wedges. Probably a little thick right now. I'd rather be thick than thin on the end. Get our wedges back. Use that back cut first. It works really well when you don't want to keep setting back on you. We're going to cut this up and then we'll get to the other trees. those trees, it's not going to want to go. It's going to get hung up. It's a real tall tree for how skinny it is. We've already taken down about 7 or 8 trees now. Trying to finish up these last few. So we're gonna put a line in this fir here. Try and pull it over here to the left. All the limbs are out here and the lean is out here on that shed. So we don't have an option of really putting it out there because there's a water spigot right down there and some other, I think, electrical stuff. We could put it over here, but that's gonna make a mess of his road. So we're trying to pull it here to the left. So we get the line set up in here so they can get enough leverage on it to pull it over. I'll get back down there and make some cuts. All the limbs are on this right side, so we're going to try and pull it backwards into that clearing there. So get the cut in here, find a clean spot without a bunch of limbs. So I'm telling you, this tree is moving a lot down underneath me here. As that top came out, it pulled me way forward, probably by 4 or 5 feet, and then snapped back. So again, just that whole awareness that make sure you're in a healthy tree when you're taking tops like this, or people are pulling on them because of how much stress you're putting on the tree below you. Last 2 trees we got are these guys here. One on the left's the biggest tree out here for me to take down for the day. We were going to try and put this big tree across the slope, but that's not worth the risk. There's a power box right there, and it's tall enough to hit that shed. It's not worth it. So we're going to climb up here and top these out, and then chunk them down. So I'm going to get up this guy here first and cut it in half, and we'll work on the big guy. So we're high enough here on this fir, go ahead and top it out, and I figured I would just wedge it so you guys can see that process again. Only need 1 wedge for this. Just go slow when you're topping trees out that you're taking big tops next to something you don't want to damage. Just go slow. Again, choose a spot that has no limbs in it. It's nice and clean. Like right here, this is a good section. Get your face in. Don't put in a huge face, because remember, you gotta put your wedges in the back here. Good enough face right here. Gun it. Putting it right for this clearing between these 2 trees here, kind of for that bigger fir. So I want it to be. Okay, now we're going to do the back. Just go slow on this. Keep checking back and forth, both sides. Make sure when you're putting your saw in, try to put your saw in and push through the cut where you're pushing towards where you want it to go. That way you know you've still got hindwood here and there as you're cutting. Whereas if you dig in like this at an angle, whereas my face is here, and I'm digging in this way, I can accidentally cut off too much. Same thing over here, if you're cutting it at an angle, yeah, the saw might cut faster in that way, but you're risking cutting off some of your hindwood. So I'm going to come in nice and even on the back cut. And I'm going to check, okay? We're getting close. That's it. No more. No more cutting. Okay, I'm just gonna put this wedge in at an angle and we'll tap it in and see how it goes. You can already see the top moving quite a bit. Not even hitting it hard. It's already leaned out like this now. Just a few taps. You get bottomed out, tap it to the side. There we go. So hinge wise, that's maybe an inch, not even that, probably 3/4 of an inch in there. That's all it took to get that over. So you don't need a massive hinge, but just be careful you don't thin it too much and end up having the tree top sit back on you. That's a bad position to be in if you got no one to help you pull it over. Okay, we're gonna go tackle that big one now. So instead of taking up the 201, we're just gonna take up the 261. All the limbs will fall in a way that they won't damage anything, so it's better to have a little more power up there than have to switch saws out. So we'll get up that and cut it in about 4 pieces, and then that'll be about it. Alright, we're at the topping point here. We're going to put it right here to the right, so kind of in that edge of that wood pile there, so we don't hit some of these small trees. Hopefully it doesn't stretch out far enough to get any of them. That's the longest shot right there. Ain't gonna get cut no more. So what we'll do, we're wedging this real quick. So this is where you have to be really careful. The wind was on my back just a second ago. Let's say the wind shifts. You don't have a wedge that you can throw in this back cut fast enough. This little bit of a gap right here from your kerf, from the saw, is enough that if wind comes this way and it closes up in this back cut and that top leans back, it's enough to rip this hinge out if you're not careful, and then it'll go behind you. If you're not careful, that hinge will get ripped out. Let me show you what the hinge looks like. It's not much. I can see the tree literally opening, the back cut here opening and closing as I moved there. So you don't want to cut much more than that. That's about it. I'll tap this over a few times, it should come right over. burned out. So what I'll do is tap it to the side and pound it right through the back cut. Tap it to the side, keep pounding on it. There you go. There goes the top. It worked out good. We got it right in that left side of the wood pile, right where we need it to go. So just remember, if you think the tree could sit back on you because of wind, try to have a wedge ready so you can stuff in that back cut before you take your saw out, or when you take your saw out, you immediately put this in the back cut so that while you're messing around with your gear, the tree doesn't try and sit back on you.
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. For ye shall go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree. And it shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off.